Hi, I'm Paul. We're doing Leetcode, must know, interview questions. Today's challenge is number of islands. This is rated as medium, and the challenge is given an M by N 2D binary grid, which represents a map of ones and zeros. A one is land, 0 is water. Return the number of islands. An island is surrounded by water and formed by connecting adjacent lands, horizontally or vertically. Assume that all 4 edges of the grid are surrounded by water. All right. Well, we can do this with a depth-first search. By iterating over each cell of the grid. Let's use example 1. How many examples do we have? Oh, just 2. Well, you know what? Let's do example 2. When we find a cell with a 1, then we're going to increment our island count. It means we have found 1 more island. And we are going to initiate a depth-first search from that cell. We're also going to set that cell to a 0. That's how we avoid counting cells twice, is we set it to a 0. We initiate a depth-first search. So we're going to get the interconnected ones. We'll get this one here. We'll get this one. We'll get this one. We will also have set them to 0. We are going to continue here, and then on this one, another one, we'll set it to 0 and increment islands. Now we have 2 islands. Now we do a depth-first search, but in this case, we look up, we look right, we look down, we look left. There are no connected ones. There's no connected land there. So that's just an island, a 1-cell island. We keep going here. We got another 1, increment islands, set it to 1. The depth-first search will find this last 1 here, and our output is 3. So, in a way, after finding a 1, it kind of works like a flood fill, where we flood fill all the connected ones with zeros, and then just move forward from there. So anyway, let's see what an implementation looks like. So first, I'd like to have some class variables here, so that we don't need to. It'll just kind of simplify our lives a little bit. We won't have to keep doing like grid.length, and we won't have to pass variables between num islands and the depth-first search. So let's say what we want, first of all, is a 2-dimensional character array called grid. Okay. Then we want an int variable called num rows, and we want an int variable called num calls, num rows. I don't like that. Num rows. All right. Num islands. What we want to do here, first of all, let's set our class variables. So let's say this dot grid equals grid. Let's say num rows equals grid dot length, and num calls equals grid 0 dot length of the first row. And all the rows are the same length. They're rectangular grids. Okay. we need something to store our island count, which is initially 0. And we are going to iterate through every cell in, we're going to iterate through every cell in the grid. So for int I equals 0, I is less than num rows I plus probably copy that. For int j equals 0 and j is less than num calls, and then we'll do j plus plus if grid I j equals a 1, then we found land. And if we found land, then we want to do a depth first search on, well, a depth first search starting with the cell that we just found. We also want to increment number of islands that we found. Could we do a breadth first search? Yeah, we could do a breadth first search. In fact, it would probably be more efficient because we could do it without the recursion, but it would be harder to write. I mean, it's simpler to write. It's simpler to write with the DFS and the recursion. So, but yeah, you could do it the other way. Okay, close that. 4, 4, 4. And then return islands. And that should be it. We're going to iterate through every cell in the grid. And when we see a 1, we're going to increment the number of islands. We're then going to do a depth first search from that cell. It's going to look at all, it's going to look recursively at every cell up, down, left, right. And if that cell is also a 1, it is going to set that cell to 0 and then do a depth first search from that cell. So really it does a flood fill on all the connected 1s and sets them to 0. So that way we don't count them twice. Okay. So now we need private void DFS, and that is going to have a row and a column. Okay. Now, before we apply the row and the column to the grid, we want to make sure, because I mean, it's recursive, and so we just go, up, right, down, left. To remove this so we can see it. No, I don't need that. But for example, well, either one of these examples really, when we hit the first cell here, it is a 1. And so now we're going to do a depth first search on it. And we start by going up. So the index here is 0, 0. What is the index up here? It would be -1, 0. But that's not good. We don't want to apply -1, 0 to the grid. It's an index out of bounds. So before we start applying indexes to the grid, we need to make sure that the index is within the bounds of the grid. So let's say if row is less than 0, that's bad, or row is equal to num rows, that would be too high. I'm tempted to say greater than or equal to num rows, but I don't see how we could just jump over row being equal to num rows and get to greater than num rows. I'm gonna leave it like that to start with. Or this line is going to get a little bit longer than I want. Let me scoot that over and put it down here. Down here, we'll say column, if column is less than 0 or column is equal to num calls, that's also bad. In that case, let's just get out. We've hit on some non-existent cell here. Next thing we want to check is if grid row call equals 1. If so, I didn't put brackets on that one, did I? No, I guess it's okay. Well, let's do it like this then. If it's not a 1, we don't care. We're not going to do anything with it. First thing we're going to do with this is say grid row call equals 0. All right, and then we're going to do 4 recursive depth first searches. There are other ways to do this. You can set up like arrays for the directions and so on. I'm going to do it sort of a more primitive fashion and just say we want to do a DFS on row plus 1 and, I don't like that, row plus 1 and column. And so let me copy that. Copy it a couple of times. I'm also going to do row minus 1 in columns. I'm going to do row and column plus 1. You're going to need semicolons here. And one more. DFS row column minus 1. All right. That looks okay. Because all we want to do there is we're going to make sure that we got a row and column that's in the grid, that it's a 1. If it is a 1, we're going to set it to a 0 so that we don't double count it. And then we are going to do recursive depth first searches in 4 directions. So let's run it and see what happens. Compile error, forgot a semicolon. It looks like, what is that? Line 8. Grid length L. It's not going to work. Okay, let's try it now. Wrong answer. What did I get? 9. Holy cow. My recursion is not working. Okay. Okay, let's try one more thing here. I think I may have confused the issue with the grid. So everywhere that we're referring to grid in here, let's use this dot grid and see what that does. Because I want to use the class variable at all times. You might be getting confused. Okay, let's try that. Let's try run it one more time. Can I move this? Run. Still wrong. Where did I get that time? 9. Still 9. And that's weird. All right, there's another mistake. That should be not equal to 1. Okay, now try it. If the grid is not equal to 1, that's when we don't care. You know, sometimes I think I should just type these all up in advance and run them and make sure they work perfectly. But it kind of gives a deceptive impression of what programming is all about, which is, you know, making mistakes and fixing them. Okay, yeah, so what we want here is if it's not a 1, we don't care. All right, we'll go ahead and try and submit. I'd like to move that out of the way. Submit. Okay. 2 milliseconds. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I've seen like a lot higher scores than that. Okay. Runtime. What would they call this? It's really like m times n, the length and or height and width of the grid, but they might say n squared. M times n. Yeah, it's good. All right. That is it for, what's this called? Number of islands. Number of islands. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and see you next time.